Right, now sometimes equations need cleaned up or simplified in order to make them easier to solve. The two most common ways we simplify, like we looked in the last unit, are combining like terms and the distributive property. So today we're going to spend a little time reviewing combining like terms. And this is on page 22 of your packet if you'd like to follow along and fill out your note sheet. So when we're talking about combining like terms, it's important to remember what a term is. So if you look here, I have the definition. It's basically a number or a variable or a combination of numbers and variables that are added or subtracted in an expression. So what that kind of means is I kind of think of terms as signed number blocks that are pushed together or they're waiting in a line. So here's an example down here below, 4x plus 3 plus 7y. That would be an example of just an expression that has a bunch of terms. And again, I kind of think of terms as signed boxes. So we've got that first term in line in our expression, which is 4x. Then the next term in my line or in my expression is a positive 3, a plus 3. And notice how I box the sign in front of 3 because it's a positive 3. That plus sign is an operation that adds it on to the term in front of it, but it also is the identity of that term. It tells you that it's a positive 3. It's not a minus 3 or a negative 3. It's a positive 3. And then the last term here in line, we have a positive 7y. So there are 3 terms in here. And again, I kind of think boxing them helps us figure it out. All right, so like terms are boxes or terms that have the same variable and raised to the same power. This means you look for which boxes are similar and put them together. So if we take a look at this first example here, and I'm going to see if I can make it a little bit bigger. Here's our first example. So if I take a minute and I box off our terms, we have negative 2x, and we have a positive 6, and a positive 5x. Those are our 3 number boxes in a line. Then again, we look for boxes that have the same or similar terms. So hopefully you should notice that I see 2 boxes that contain an x variable. I have this box right here, negative 2x, and a positive 5x. I can put those 2 together. So how many x's do I really have? Well, we look at the coefficients. So we'd say negative 2 plus 5, and I get an answer of a positive 3. So I have 3 x's. Now this box right here in the middle is a plus 6. It doesn't have any other boxes even to look for to combine because again, this box is taken and this box is taken. We put those together to get 3x. So the positive 6 just gets rewritten next to the problem. It's a plus 6. It has no one else to combine with. I don't want to combine it any further from here because again, x's, terms that have x's in them and terms that are regular numbers aren't like terms and I can't put them together. So we have a 3-term expression. We simplified it down to 2 terms, 3x plus 6. All right, let's take a look at this next example. Again, I'm going to take a minute and box my terms. So I have a positive 8, a positive 4x, and a negative 4. Now looking at those boxes or terms, which ones do you see that are alike? Well, if I look at my x term here, it's got no one else to combine with. But if I notice my 8 and my negative 4, now they don't have to match with signs, guys. They just have to be the same type of number. Those are considered regular numbers, right? They don't have a variable with them. They're constants. So we can't put those together. So 8 minus 4. 8 minus 4 gives us 4. I'm going to go ahead and write that down. Those two together gives me a positive 4. Now, again, I still have this term right here. Oh, I have this x term in here, and we kind of mentioned that, hey, it doesn't really have anyone else to combine with, and it's a positive 4x. So we're just going to write it next to it. So this time my regular numbers could combine, and my x value just stayed. And again, we rewrite it. Okay, the last one here. Now, again, it looks a little bit more difficult, but it's because of those fractions. And if we know how to use that calculator to do the computations to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. So keep calm. Same procedure. We're going to box off our terms here. So we have 5/8 x minus 10 plus 3/4 x plus 2. So if I look at my boxes here, which can I combine? Hopefully you see you've got 2 x terms that I can combine. Both are positive, so we would again use our calculator. 5/8, again putting those parentheses around your fractions. I'm going to add 3/4. I get a decimal. Same as before, if we're adding fractions, I want a fraction answer, so hit that math button. And we get a combined answer of 11/8. Now, tricky part is to remember to put that x, because when I combined these terms, the reason why I did is because they both have an x term with it. So easy to forget, double check yourself, put that x with your answer. Then from here, we've got two other boxes. We've got a -10 and a +2. Now again, one's positive, one's negative, but the big picture is they're regular numbers, so I can put them together. So we have -10, and we add on 2, and I get an answer of -8. So -8, again, when I buddy it up to my problem here, a -8 is going to be a -8, right? If we take a minute and even play like the hide game. Oh, that's not working out there. But if I would just even ignore this part for a minute, see how it's a -8, and then you put a fraction in front of it, it looks like a minus. So again, if you get a -8 in your calculator or a negative value in your calculator, it just acts like a negative when you buddy it up. Please don't put minus a -8. All right, so there are some practice problems at the bottom of your page. They look like this. Same idea, you're going to be putting together like terms that you see. So I'll go through the first one together with you. Again, if boxing helps you see it, go ahead, box up your terms. So 16 plus 7x minus 8 plus 3x minus 12. From there, looking for like terms, you should notice, hey, I've got some x terms I can put together. And I've got some regular numbers I can put together. So putting together those x terms, I'm just going to put my little colors down here so you guys can see it. Putting together my x terms, we have 7x and 3x. So 7 plus 3 makes 10. Now again, there is an x with it, so don't forget. So it's a 10x. When I put my green terms together, I have 16 minus 8 minus 12, and I get -4. So a -4 is a -4 when I write it down in my expression. Let's take a look at this one at the top. So again, taking a minute and boxing my terms. Looking for what I can combine. I notice I have x terms. And you notice that you have regular numbers. All right, so starting with my x's, we'd have 6.7, adding on 9.2, and I get 15.9. Be careful, make sure that x comes along with it. The back half here, we've got two green terms that are regular numbers. So -3 minus 14, -3 minus 14, and you get -17. So again, -17, when I buddy it up, is a -17. Okay, looking at this one in the far top right corner, the first thing you notice here is we have just an x. So guys, remember, we talked about this earlier in the year, but if you have just a single x, you can assume that that is a 1, and it might be helpful to write that out. So boxing my terms, we have a 1x, -2x, minus 3x, plus 14. Looking for things I can combine. This problem has actually 3 boxes that have x's. And then we just have a regular number there at the bottom, or at the end there, that we can't really put together. So the yellow part in the beginning, all my x terms, if I put them together, I have 1 minus 2 minus 3. 1 minus 2 minus 3, and you get the answer of -4x. And again, this box right here has nobody to combine with, so it's just dropped down. So we have -4x plus 14. Okay, the bottom 3, let's tackle them. So we box them up. -2/3 x plus 2. All right, so when we go to look for like terms, we have 2 boxes that are x's. So we're going to go ahead and put those together. Kind of looking ahead and get my highlighting going. I've got two boxes that are regular numbers. So getting our computation on, get that calculator ready. We do have two fractions. Keep calm. Calculator's going to do the dirty work. So if we have 1/2, we're going to subtract 2/3. And we get a decimal. Again, because we're working with fractions, we want to turn that answer back into a fraction. So the first term there we have is a negative 1/6 x. The back end, 41 and 2, putting those together, we get 43. Both are positive. 41 plus 2 more makes 43. All right, last two here quickly. Let's see. We've got 14x plus 10 minus 5x minus 17. So going through, looking for what I can combine, I've got two x boxes. And this one, again, I've got two regular numbers that I can put together. Again, does not matter that they're not the same sign, so they're the same type of number. All right, so we've got 14 minus 5 for our x's. 14 minus 5 is going to give us 9x. 10 plus 17 is going to give us a negative 7. And again, when I put the 10 minus 17 in here, you see the answer is a negative 7, so it's a minus 7. When if I move back to this front one here, 41 plus 2, 41 plus 2 gives me a positive 43. So make sure when you write your answer down, you're putting that plus 43 because it's a positive 43. All right, last one. We got another little tricky. We got to add a 1 in there at the last term because it's just an x. That kind of is helpful to see. So we've got our box terms here, looking for ones that I can combine. Oh, I've got some x values that I can put together. So 8x plus 7x minus, or plus 1x. So 8, 7, and 1, 8 plus 7 plus 1 gives us 15x, 16x. And then our two back numbers here, these are regular numbers, so we can also put those two together. So negative 4 minus 8, negative 4 minus 8 is negative 12. All right, so hopefully you feel a little bit more confident, and it was a helpful review for you for combining like terms. We definitely need to make sure that we understand this so that we can move on to like terms equations. If you need any more help, please let me know. This was your note sheet and examples that you could write down. Submit a picture if you missed class for it, for your credit. And then tomorrow we're going to be going on and doing some more work with this. So good luck. Reach out if you need anything or need more help.